now more than ever, it is so important to keep faith alive during this time of uncertainty. So here today to share some words of wisdom and inspiration is former NFL defensive back and now lead pastor of Rock Church San Diego, Miles McPherson. Welcome and thanks for being with us. I know you're the pastor of one of the largest congregations in California. So how do you teach others to keep the faith when these are such turbulent times?
Well, thanks, Amy, for having me. You know, the most important thing now, while everybody's suffering, is for the church to rise up and be the church. Having church on Sunday in our building is only part of the solution. It's like going to a football game and seeing people go in the huddle and call the play, but no one goes to see the huddle. They want to see what you're going to do when you break the huddle. And now we're out of the huddle. We're out of the sanctuary. We have to go into the community and serve. So we've been serving the community. We fixed 300,000 95 masks. We've served thousands of meals to the hospitals and first responders. So we have to be the church right now.
I love that. You don't go to church, you be the church during these times. I know your late father was an undercover police officer. Your son, currently a detective for the San Diego Police Department. What has it been like for both of you during the recent protests over police brutality?
Well, you know, my dad was a New York City police officer for 30 years, and he would tell you that he would be happy to see that there's reform happening all throughout the country in all sectors of society for racism, because we've dealt with that all our lives. He dealt with it, I dealt with it. But it would also tell you to take every police officer as an individual. It's very dangerous when you stereotype any group of people, whether they're because of their ethnicity or occupation. He was a cop, but he also arrested cops as part of his job. And so cops are humans just like everybody else, and there's a lot of great cops and there's some bad cops. So reform is necessary, but we don't want to categorize and stereotype them all as being bad.
You know, that's such a beautiful point. And I know you wrote a book called The Third Option. It tackles racism head on. So what kind of solution does your book offer to help bridge this racial divide that this nation is now confronting in a big way?
You know, we live in an us versus them culture, and you're always given one of two options: for or against the police, for or against Black lives, Republican or Democrat, and you see so much division. And once you pick one side, you inevitably become the enemy of the other side. And this cancel culture, if you say one thing wrong, everybody just cancels you out. Well, the third option, which is what the book is about, tells us that we all have more similarities than differences. We all like our sleep, we all like our food, we all love our families, and the book gives people tools on how to build bridges with people based on what we have in common.
A book for everyone, and a book we need so much right now in this world. All right, lastly, what message do you want to leave our viewers as we head into the weekend? You've already given us so much, but how about one more?
You know, I would say love your neighbor. You know, there was a guy in the woods hunting, and he saw this monster that was coming at him, and the monster kept going behind a tree and a rock, and he couldn't get a good shot at him. And the next thing you know, the monster was standing right next to him, and he realized it was his brother. We have to stop labeling people as our monsters when we have to realize we're all brothers and sisters. When I see you, if you look different than me, because we do see color, and we should not say we don't see color because we do, it's a beautiful thing. And we have to realize that we're more similar than different. And if we can label everyone my neighbor, when you label someone your neighbor, your brother, your sister, you will treat them better. And I would encourage everybody to love your neighbor as yourself.
What a perfect way to end our conversation. Thank you so much, Pastor Miles McPherson. We all needed to hear that and remember that. Thank you, neighbor.
God bless you. God bless you, neighbor.